Thank you very much for inviting us and having us here as your guest. It's wonderful for us to be in a school that's in another country and to see all the different things, what your schools look like, to meet with some of the pupils and everything. And as a thank you from all of us, there's some chocolates for you to enjoy at the end. So you can all have a little treat from England from us. All right, you can share. Oh, and there's one for the teachers too. There we go, so we can share between the staff and students. So please do enjoy those from us. As you can see, this is a map of the UK. The UK is broken down into 4 different countries, being England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. We're going to have a representation from the different teachers here today to tell us about the foods that are available in those different countries, but just a very quick introduction as to where each of the teachers come from. So Sherry was with St Brunier School, and she's moved on to Little Heath. She comes from sort of central England. Emma is closer to Wales than the rest of us. She's from Stroud. Mickey is further up north. She's the most northern out of all of our teachers. Myself, I'm about 30 miles north of London. And then we've got Davine and Anne, who are south of London, is that correct? Yep, both south of London, which is fantastic. So we've got a good representation of teachers from England, and I hope you do enjoy the presentation that we have from you. Next slide. All right, this is my school. I absolutely love my school. I've been there for about, I think it's 12 years, September time is that I've been there. We're a middle school, so we've got pupils aged between 9 and 13, and it's fantastic because we actually start teaching as soon as they come into year 5. We are a Christian school, and we base our principles on 16 founding principles. We do, however, have students from all sorts of religious backgrounds, and it doesn't matter what your faith is. The fact is, Christian values encompass everybody. So as long as you're following a good Christian value, you're able to be a good person in the world. We start off, this is my kitchen. We start off in year 5 with simple knife skills, because lots of children don't work in the kitchen at home these days. And then when we get up to year 8, which is about age 13, we can actually cook a 3-course meal. So that's my school, and thank you for inviting us to yours. We're talking about Scotland. Now, Scotland is in the most northern part of Great Britain. I think, if my pronunciation is correct, you would say Sugarland for Scotland, the name in Chinese. It's got quite a nice temperate climate, can be a little chilly over winter. Quite rainy in some regions, more rainy on this side than this side, but there is a lot of indigenous game. So there's lots of grouse, lots of deer, lots of partridge, and they all make for really good eating. There's also an amazing abundance of seafood because Scotland's surrounded by the sea, and then agriculture provides oats, and oats are in a lot of recipes that are made up in Scotland. Most famous export drink-wise would be whiskey. And whiskey is used in a number of dishes as well up in Scotland. So it's a really great country for the produce that they have. The national dish is haggis. There is folklore that haggis is a little creature that runs around the mountains and has shorter legs on the one side because it's got to stay on the sides of the mountains. But it's actually a savoury meat pudding. Normally you have it with tatties and neeps, which are potatoes and turnips. And haggis is actually made out of liver, heart, and lungs from a sheep, and then it's wrapped into a sheep's stomach. There's a big celebration at the end of January called Burnsnicht, and that's when they have the haggis. Something else that's very popular is cullen skink. It is a traditional soup made of smoked haddock, cream, potatoes, and onions, and it takes its name from a little town on the coast of Scotland. Lovely dessert is called cranachan, very similar in some of the ingredients to Eton mess. However, it's got whiskey in it as well. So it's where whiskey is used quite frequently. Next, thank you. This one, crepitades, it's very unusual. It's the heads of fish that are used into a soup. They are stuffed with onions, suet, and fish liver, and then they're boiled in water to the head, and it was a very popular dish, but not so popular anymore. the Scottish are quite well known for using the entire animal in their traditional meals that they eat. So it is no waste. So they'd rather use the head in the soup than to waste the head. Rumbledy Thumps is a Scottish dish from the Scottish borders, and it is butter sauteed cabbage mixed with onion and then mixed in with a mashed potato. If we make it at home, we put cheese on the top and put it under the grill. Makes a really tasty dish, really filling, especially when the weather's really cold outside and you want something to make you full. And the last thing I'm going to speak about is grouse. Grouse is a bird. It's a little bird. It's not very big. It's normally one portion, one person, one portion. And they're hunted in the Scottish moors between August and December. Very nice, very, very distinctive flavor. And you can have it roasted. Doesn't take long to roast, about 15 to 20 minutes whilst it's overcooked. Or you could have it stewed in the stewed pot. So lots of hearty food comes from Scotland. Lots of food that you want to eat when it's cold outside and you want a really good meal to fill you up and keep you warm over the long hours of a Scottish winter. Thank you.
Abby.